Merchant Zoom Incorporated. The secrets of merchant processing, tiered pricing versus pass-through interchange pricing. Headquartered in Pinole, California, Merchant Zoom Incorporated was founded by Wally Aracosi, previously employed by one of the largest merchant processing companies here in California for nearly a decade. Since the company's beginnings, Merchant Zoom has grown into a reputable national merchant provider. Along with delivering state-of-the-art technology and competitive rates, Merchant Zoom thrives on personalized local customer service and support, in order for your business to zoom. Confused about what you're being charged? After watching this short video, you should be able to tell what type of pay structure you're being billed for, and more importantly, know if you're getting the best rate without relying on what a salesperson is telling you. Let's start with understanding the process of accepting credit cards. It starts with the consumer presenting their credit card to the merchant. The merchant swipes a credit card and it is directed to the processor, which then gets authorization through the card type network. Interchange directs the inquiry to the correct card issuing bank of the consumer. The bank then verifies the funds are available and returns a response of approved or declined. This authorization is then routed back through the supported card network and is received by the processor, which provides the merchant the authorization. At the end of each day, a merchant will batch all of the credit card transactions, and this will be sent to the processor. The processed amount is then deposited directly to the merchant's bank account. Now that we've seen the process, let's look at where the fees and charges are actually going. Merchant fees will fall into three areas: interchange dues, assessments, and processing cost. Let's look at how fees are determined. The fees are charged interchange depends on two things. First, the type of card the consumers are using. Interchange is comprised of hundreds of different rate categories depending on the card type. Secondly, if the card is present for the transaction. For example, a card-present transaction would have a lower fee if the card was swiped or chipped and pinned instead of keyed. Visa MasterCard publishes these rates twice a year. It is important to understand the fees are set by sponsoring bank of the credit card and is the same for everyone. Secondly, if the card is present for the transaction, it has a lower fee when the card is swiped or EMV'd. It is important to understand the fees are set by the sponsoring bank of the credit card and is the same for everyone, from Walmart right down to the smallest corner shop. Now let's look again at the three areas of cost. Even though all of this is a bit confusing to understand which cards are being charged what amounts, the most important thing to know is that the interchange fees are absolutely set, and no one is paying more or less. It is impossible to be given a discount or even be overcharged for any of these fees. These are fixed. Anyone that tells you different is incorrect or misleading you. All you need to be concerned about is the third area, processing cost. And if you understand how and what you're being charged for processing, then you'll be able to accurately determine what you're paying, and more importantly, know if you're getting the best rate. Let's break down this third area of processing cost. Interchange is by law in the United States, posted online for everyone to view. While you could Google them, you may end up on a marketing website. These are the actual interchange postings and rates and their exact URL. These are official and the same for 100% of all merchants. Merchant Zoom Incorporated encourages you to visit these and learn about what the fixed rates are. They can be confusing and intimidating. Merchant Zoom Incorporated would be happy to educate you on them with an on-site visit. We researched the going tiered rates and found the average rates and used them in this example. For the sake of simplicity, we are going to use just the debit rates in our example, although the same applies to debit. In order to calculate this, all you need to do is add the 0.95% actual interchange to the 1.03% qualified to yield the actual rate of 1.98%. To see what the actual rate is, always remember when a salesperson is quoting you rates, always ask them, is this on top of the regular Visa and MasterCard rates? This will give you basic understanding of how tiered pricing works. Now, in comparison, let's look at how Interchange Plus is calculated. To understand the Interchange Plus, we pulled the rate off the interchange charts previously discussed. In this case, a Visa card in a retail swiped environment. The rates are therefore 1.54% for credit and 0.95% for debit. The processor marks this up 1/2 of 1%. We then add up these fees and we get the following rates of 2.04% for credit and 1.45% for debit. So let's break down the differences between the two pricing models. First, let's look at the tiered pricing. Most processors use the tiered pricing model. In this pricing structure, processors are using 100 plus different interchange categories and are separating them into buckets. They typically refer to these buckets as qualified, mid-qualified, and non-qualified. Under bucket pricing, each bucket is priced high enough to cover the most expensive rate of the card with the highest interchange fee in that bucket. But with this type of pricing, the merchant is paying the higher price for all of the cards in that bucket. Additionally, when Visa and MasterCard make changes to the interchange rates, it is common for processors to use this as an excuse to raise the rate of the entire bucket, even though it only affects one or two other cards. Historically speaking, interchange plus pricing is reserved only for very large companies, like national retailers, and they have been the only ones able to benefit from interchange plus pricing. Do not be misled by the assumption that you cannot get interchange plus pricing. We can get you interchange plus pricing. The savings is clear. An average merchant will save $2.69 for every $100 in sales. Other fees, such as authorizations, equipment, transactions, batch, PCI, etc., are all additional, but are also charged on all types of accounts. We've removed these fees to simplify our training example above. We'll need to sit down with you to review your exact circumstances and give you a quote on what we can do for you. We can be reached by toll-free phone, our website, email, or drop by our office if you are in the area. You can also connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Contact us today for a free, no-obligation rate analysis. We are here to serve you. We look forward to meeting you soon. Thanks for watching. Please contact us for more information.